was the script you used last time. We still have tremendous traffic problems. Ladies and gentlemen, 13 years ago, 6 years ago, 5 years ago, we heard that Route 522, for example, would be completed. It's not yet completed. We still have a lot of problems, a lot of traffic problems that need to be dealt with and dealt with now. This is what I mean by speaking from a position of strength. We have to be able to sit down and without any question get the Department of Transportation to move. It's a bureaucracy. I've heard from people that want traffic lights up in certain areas of the community. They're in fear for their life if they cross the street. We need strength. We need someone who could sit down and knows how to work within the state government. I have that experience, and that type of experience I'll bring to the Township Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Rogers. We will now move to a question from Ms. Sue Livio. Please, Ms. Livio.
Mr. Rogers, as an outspoken critic of high-density development, explain how you plan to judge development proposals and weigh them in relationship with the township's need to increase its rateable space and offer affordable housing.
First and foremost, Sue, I would recommend that we go to the public. I think one of the things that we have failed to do is to learn what impact certain development projects would have on the people in the surrounding area. And I could, a shining example, a shining illustration is that of Metroplex. Here is a project that will devastate this community. I've publicly stated since the day I was nominated for office that I would vote no on Metroplex. And my reasons are very simple and very clear. Once Metroplex, or any massive development for that matter, is actually constructed, the developers are going to pack their bags with their profits and leave. But you and me, the taxpayers, we're going to pick up the tab for the police, for the fire, for the ambulance services, for the sewers, for the roads. We're going to pay a very heavy and dear price when these projects are put together. So my recommendation is slow down growth. In fact, let's look at that master plan and let's have public input.
Thank you, Mr. Rogers. Mr. Cherry, do you care to comment on that?
Yes, I do. I think that Mr. Rogers, with his eloquent voice, are missing the point in terms of his understanding of planning responsibilities and the township responsibilities. He indicated that I voted for the development of Friendship Road. He's wrong. I never voted for the development of Friendship Road. I voted for a commitment of affordable housing and country care zoning that could take place in South Brunswick, a place that we can take care of our older people when they can't take care of themselves. His party owns the planning board. His party is the one to determine the development. And regardless of the zoning, they have the power in their hands to get the best development possible, from the zoning. And also, he keep indicating that I have not been on top of things, in South Brunswick. But I think that he's making a mistake. He needs to go back to school because he has not been involved in anything in South Brunswick to know what is going on. I basically asked him a couple of questions when he appeared one of the few times at the Township Committee, and he said to me, from the question that I asked in the paper here that represented it, said, Mr. Rogers, what have you participated in? And he said, nothing. And why didn't you have a chance to participate in things in South Brunswick? Because I was too busy to be concerned with the problems of South Brunswick. The only thing is a lot of boards and commissions available with vacancies that with his party in control, he could have very easily been appointed to one of those committees rather than prefabricating a committee to say I've been involved in something in South Brunswick.
Thank you, Mr. Cherry. We now will go to our next questioner, Mr. Mark Perkiss, please.
Mr. Cherry, obviously the members of the Township Committee must work together to make the business of government work. Despite this, many people feel that as a Democrat, you too often side with the Republican majority on the panel. How do you answer their concerns?
I answer this way, Mr. Perkins. I am a representative of all the people in South Brunswick. And I will not play politics when it comes to decisions that affect the lives of the people that live in here in South Brunswick. Whether it's Democrat, Independent, or Republicans, I will search my conscience and act on my own will for the betterment of South Brunswick. And I know that my opponent accused me of being a Republican. I wonder why he didn't run as a Democrat, because he indicated that, you know, I was a Republican. Now, I'm a person that represents all the people of South Brunswick. And sure, a lot of things that came before the Township Committee, that through my experience, I learned that these programs presented to us, you know, as a total group, and Mr. Rogers, I mean, if one year he has the fortune of being elected to South Brunswick Township Committee, people learn you can't act as an individual. You must act for the best interest, you know, of South Brunswick Township.
Thank you. Mr. Rogers, do you wish to comment?
Ted, I stand amazed over what I heard 5 minutes ago, that you didn't vote for Friendship Village. Ladies and gentlemen, the 1982 master plan, right here. You know, they say a picture tells 1,000 words. He voted for this master plan. This master plan shows increased density in Friendship Village, and it shows increased density in Metroplex, in the area that Metroplex is going to be built. He voted to increase density in those areas. As far as my qualifications, as far as my involvement, he's right. I haven't been that directly involved on commissions and boards. I don't believe it's necessary to sign my name to every commission and board there is in the township and boast that I'm qualified based on that particular issue. Fact of the matter is, I've been involved on a grander scale. Many of you read about our help to crime victims. Everyone gets affected by crime, even those in South Brunswick Township. Our help to elder Americans, our help to the Mobile Park homeowners. I've been very active on a grander scale. People have been helped. I'm one of those guys who like to do things not politically, but quietly behind the scenes, as long as people are getting help. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rogers. Before we begin our next round, I would like to remind both our candidates to please keep their eye on the timekeeper so that you are comfortable with the time limits that you have left. We will now move back to Mr. Davis to ask the next question, please, sir.
Yes, Steve. Yes, I'd like to raise a concern of the people I've talked to in my 5-month stint as a reporter for the South Brunswick Central Post, and that involves Mr. Rogers' ties with the 7th Ministry, I believe. Also your radio program involving the taking the religious platform, I suppose. People, I think, fear that you will be unable to separate religious values from your job. I was just wondering, how do you plan to separate them, if possible, once you take office, or if you take office?
Well, you know, this issue of religion was brought up some time ago. I feel it is tragic that we would bring such an issue into a campaign. I've told people that, hey, I was raised a Catholic, proud to say that my family, wife and children, we pray together. I'm not embarrassed to say that. I feel that my convictions are well worth looking at. I feel that honesty, integrity are the things that we need to emphasize in government. I don't see anything wrong with that, Tom. My ties with the ministry, my dedication is going to be to the people of the Township of South Brunswick. I've already set into motion a transition of that entire ministry over to people on our board of directors. But I think it should be abundantly clear to everyone that it's a shame when people would go so far as to challenge a man on his convictions and his beliefs. I believe that every individual has the right in this nation to believe in the God of their choice. I believe in one God, someone else will believe in another God. But to bring that into a political campaign, I think it's tragic. But I don't apologize for it. Thank you.